And it was mainly a problem because we would hear cages rattling constantly.
What?
And then we would always hear like ducks quacking, and we're like, "Oh
Wait,
man,
wait. Let's save this for the stream.
oh it's already live. We're already going."
Skipping through the end times.
Hey guys, hey Dave, how you doing, man? Welcome back to our show.
Thanks, man. You're welcoming me
Is that
back?
too much?
Dude, I appreciate it. That was like a personal welcome.
Well,
Dude,
I just thought, after the
good to
week
be
you've
back.
had and the flooding that you've had, that you've been experiencing, much like our fellow California neighbors this week, I just, I thought you needed that extra welcome.
Thanks, man. Yeah, my garage just got partially flooded. A lot of rain going on. Also, my car is like an old 2004 car, and like my windows stopped working. Like the fuses just stopped working.
No.
So like one of my windows was like stuck partially up, and instead of doing something about it, I just procrastinated. And so that was fun during all the rain. It just basically poured into my car.
Dang.
But eventually I got like a towel to put up, and then like I got like weights that like random weights that I obviously don't use because I'm not in good shape out of the garage, and like put it on the towels to like stop the rain from getting in. So anyway, it moderately worked.
Someone's gonna steal your weights, dude.
Whoa,
It was
is
a
that
chance I took.
Whiskey Vince I hear?
Whiskey producer Vince, I didn't even shut my camera this time, dude. And it's a little bit bigger than last week, like I promised.
Vince, you were kind of telling a story about, I was talking about my small farm I have with my 4 pets over here at my house, and you had some story about your neighbor or something that used to be above you.
So we live in a 3-story apartment. We're in the center. We're 2-story, second story. And we've lived here for a little bit. We've gone through a few neighbors upstairs. It's actually been two different people now ago. We had these 2 dudes that lived together upstairs, a couple, and they moved in. They just put in like wood floors so we could hear everything, which is fine. Like, live your life. I've lived in apartments my whole life. But we started hearing like cages rattling and shit, and we're like, oh, it's kind of weird. I wonder like what kind of furniture they have up there. And then every once in a while we would hear like ducks quacking. But here in Oregon, I'm sure there too, geese fly by like once a day. So we're like, oh, it's the geese. But then it would happen at like 9 o'clock at night. We're like, oh, it's the geese. And then it just kept happening. And then I was in the bathroom one night and I heard like splish splashing upstairs and just quack, 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 quack. And I was like, oh my God, babe, I think they have ducks upstairs. And then after that, our attention fully shifted to whatever was going on upstairs. Paige is an internet sleuth, dude. She was able to find the people, find out that they used to own a pet store and it closed. And I think those fuckers kept most of the pets and they all lived above us on the 3rd floor, dude. And they were so loud constantly. The day that they moved was the day that I finally like lost my mind, and it was like 7:30 in the morning and the dude was running up the stairs, and I got out of bed just in my underwear and like swung open the door, and I was like, I can't do it anymore. And he like stopped and it was like right in front of me. He's all, I promise we're moving right now, that's what we're doing, I'm so sorry, we're out of here. And I was like, oh God, thank you so much. And then the rest of the day, Paige continued to, this makes her look bad, but she had her iPhone to the peephole of the door all day long. Uh-oh, here she is. And she had the camera on the peephole, and she got an image of them carrying giant cages and like actual ducks, 2 ducks out of that apartment, dude. And to finish the story, a couple after them moved in, and they were a great little nice couple. And we were talking to them, and they said that they got a human-sized duck costume in the mail for the people that lived above us. And that just blew our minds, dude, because it was just like a whole nother level of it. It was fantastic. Paige is in the comments right now. When
It's
they
like
moved
unraveling a mystery.
Yeah, Paige said when they moved out, I taped my phone to the people to record them leaving, and found out that they had 50 pets up there. She counted
50
them.
pets?
At least 50 cages.
Wait.
Who knows how many?
I'm glad she's chiming in because Vince, you were like, they have 2 ducks.
Because the ducks
50,
were my
dude?
main problem, dude. I don't care about snakes and hamsters. Like they didn't affect me.
Crap, dude.
But
Can
the
I also
ducks,
go back?
Where-
Can I also go back to the comment of geese fly by once a day? You probably experience that in California as well. I can't like. There's not been an experience in which I can remember geese flying by to the point of where I would be like, "Here they are. Here's those geese
it's
again."
on
Like
the
checking
hour, we
your
got the
watch, like,
geese.
oh, it's geese o'clock.
Oregon's
Now,
a
with that being said, there are a chorus of roosters every morning. So,
Okay, I thought you were
yeah.
gonna say like cholos shooting into the air.
Oh, those are the Orange County roosters.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a lot of rooster activity, the part of Orange County that I live, which is not rural or like
That would just
there's
be
no land to
neighbor-based.
do it. So,
Yeah.
For me, we do have the Pasadena parrots, which
Dude, those
there's
are
also
awesome.
parrots in
Those
Orange
are
County, like in,
Yeah.
in Fullerton and stuff. But yeah, there's when they come by, it's like super loud. There's like 60 of them.
Are they like
Which-
a menace to the population? Like, do they-
Kinda. It's like
Yeah.
they have like no predators because no hawks or anything would ever attack them because there's a million of them.
Yeah.
So they're all just like are just loud and kind of just cause chaos everywhere. And there's all this lore about like how they started and like no one really knows. Like people are like, well, I heard there was a truck transporting pets and it collapsed over above the bridge and all the parrots got out and then reproduced, but no one really knows.
That was like the beginning of Beethoven.
dude, that is
I haven't
like,
watched Beethoven in a while, but you know,
Isn't that how it started? It was
check
like
it
a
out.
pet truck like fell and then the puppy got out and then all these birds flew away. That's what actually caused the Pasadena parrots.
maybe that's it. Maybe
That's
what
it, dude.
I watched this whole thing about they have a massive problem in the Florida Everglades because during Hurricane Katrina there was like a terrarium that flooded and a bunch of the animals got out and escaped, and part of those were pythons, but they're like massive, and they've eaten so many, like their what do you call it, their food chain. They've eaten so much of the food source that they started eating alligators. And so there's like all these bounties and stuff, like ex-military people will go down in the Florida Everglades and they'll just kill pythons because like you get money for them, which is,
That's
the
wild,
definition
man.
of a bounty. But
Wild, dude.
yeah, that stuff does happen. It's kind of crazy. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the Pasadena parrots or the Brookhurst parrots, as I call them, around here,
That doesn't have as good of a ring to it.
no, it
but-
doesn't. It doesn't. And it's like you think about like because
Brookers.
parrots are indigenous to certain parts of the world. And you're like, that would be amazing. Like if instead of pigeons you had parrots. But until you hear a flock of them flying in the sky and it sounds like there's an invasion coming,
And they live
Yeah.
for like 150 years, so they're just
Yeah.
never gonna go away.
they're gonna outlive us.
I love
Maybe
the
we
idea.
should go hunt them, dude. Maybe we should
Yeah.
go. We should call ourselves like bounty
Parrot
hunter
Patrol?
names, and then just go
Parrot
try to
Patrol?
take them out.
Dude, Parrot Patrol, we start a company and then we all take on like we go the Dog the Bounty Hunter route where it's like I'm not just a bounty hunter. I'm this over the top, teased up hair, ex-80s rock band looking dude for whatever reason, as if that's intimidating. That's what I never understood about Dog the Bounty Hunter. It's like did he think that look was intimidating to people coming after him? Because if a guy was running at me with like, that like Mount Crumpet hair and like boots, I would like probably just be like, oh, hey, how's it going? Or start laughing or something. But yeah,
I mean, sure,
he's
it
committed.
probably got him the show though, because they were like, "This guy's
yeah.
really ridiculous."
And I think he just never updated from like the time that look was cool.
Yeah.
He like
That's
He's
mastered.
just like, "I'm
yeah.
good. I'm sticking with this forever."
He mastered it in '83 and just never changed to death, dude. I was
He's
gonna
like,
say
83 is the peak of humanity, and I'm never leaving.
I was gonna
It's
say
like
it's funny because the Brookers pigeons, what are they? Oh, parrots, are probably the only group of parrots that live alone on Takis. Like they're the only ones that have that diet, dude. That's what I
No,
was going
dude, they take out the pigeons, dude. Those things are vicious. They don't
Are
just
they?
hang out. They're not just. I mean, sure, they're eating Takis, but they're also eating pigeons that were fattened up on Takis.
Dude.
It's bigger than that, dude.
Pigeons
Okay, I look
had
small.
it coming though, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got way too cocky about everything they've been doing.
Did you guys see that? I sent you guys an article earlier from Humberto Gonzalez from The Wrap. He did a story about how Michael Bay is being charged for killing a pigeon during the production of whatever movie he's working on right now.
yeah.
And I was like, charged? Like, charged like with a crime?
He slightly helped them.
Yeah, he took care of a problem, in my opinion. And he's
He was
being
just doing that in
castrated
his
for it.
spare time over there.
Yeah. Like if I was the head of a country and I read that, I'd be like, come shoot your movies here. We'll give you a great tax break. You can take out as many pigeons as you want. maybe that's what we need to do in Brookhurst in Pasadena. It's right in our own backyard.
I love
For
that
every
that was
$1
in the
million you
news.
spend, we just ask that you take out one pigeon.
One
and
pigeon, that's it.
Equals out the ecosystem.
Everybody wins.
What is the fee on him killing a pigeon? Like, it's a huge deal, but they were like, it's $30.
Oh, I hope it's jail time. Not because I think that's just, but just because like it's so ridiculous. Like they use the word charge, which is like pretty nuts.
Yeah.
It sounds like this has been going on because this was years ago, right? And it seems like they just like aren't letting it go.
Like the
Like I want to
case just
see his
finished.
face. I want to see Michael Bay's face when they're telling him that they're charging him.
Well, he's
Great.
denying. Oh, you're right. It's from 2018, and he was filming 6 Underground, which maybe there should have been charges for something else besides the pigeon on that one. But, dude, so this is his. Can I read you guys his quote? His quote is this: "I am a well-known animal lover and major animal activist," Bay said in a statement to the Wrap.
Based
No
on
animal
what?
involved in the production was, dude. So here's the trick, right? He says no animal involved in the production was injured or harmed, or any other production I've worked on in the past 30 years. So he's not acknowledging. He's saying like, yeah, if we hired the pigeon's fine. But what he's not acknowledging is like street pigeons that showed up to watch the filming, which I think is what happened, right? He killed just a local pigeon.
It's kind of
It
hard
makes
to...
it sound like he went out of his way to like murder it in like an
Yeah.
excruciating way, like
Like
he
he
like
ran it
tortured
over.
it and like.
But it's such
Yeah,
a bold statement to say that all the action scenes that he's filmed in 30 years, no pigeon has ever flown like too close to the explosion.
Yeah.
He's, oh, no, absolutely not.
Dude, it's also funny that he only accounts for the last 30 years. He's like, in the 90s, I'm not gonna vouch for that.
Yeah.
Shit was crazy in the 90s.
He says
all,
that.
look,
He's all the first
Can't
5
promise
years.
anything.
Look, everybody knows before 95 it was fair game for pigeon hunting. All right, I don't think I should be held accountable for that. Did you see Bad Boys?
That was before we knew the killing was wrong. Okay, so
You know what they used to call pigeons back in 95? Rats with wings, okay? I thought I was doing everybody a service.
that was before political correctness. Okay, we could just call pigeons that, and nobody had a problem with it.
It's like, yeah. The 90s were hell on pigeons, dude. And that's something that's never depicted in film or TV. It just looks like this blissful time in American history, but what you can't see is the inaction on pigeons, dude. It was
I saw the birds, all right, when I was a kid, and I was never the same after that. And
My mom told me to kill him when I see him.
Look, I watched the birds the same way I watched Red Dawn, all right? I took it as a call for action. Okay, I didn't want to sit around on my hands while these pigeons were taking over. And now you see what's going on with the parrots. So I was kind of right. Dude, I can't believe that was from 2018. I missed that detail when I first saw that. That's even more asinine.
yeah, I mean, he's got to be like, okay, really, they're charging me with this? Okay, whatever, they'll forget about it. And Italy was like, no, we're prioritizing this. Okay,
I like how you said
keep
forget
at
about it. We'll
He's
forget
gonna be
about
banned
it.
from Italy, dude.
Look, Mike, I know you're, off making your next movie. We haven't forgot about the pigeons, okay? And
So
they
these
haven't forgot either.
Americans, they just show up here, kill our pigeons, and then leave like nothing happened. We're making a stand.
New York needs to hire exclusively to get rid of the rat problem, dude. That is something. What is your guys' take on the Prince Harry thing? Because it's something that I don't understand. I know people that are in love with the British royals and the history of Britain. Never something that interests me. Because of 1776, I guess it always felt like something that just we wanted to get away from. So I pursue it now. But it just is crazy how much people and care about Harry and his wife Meghan Markle. What are your guys' takes on that?
I feel like it's their way of getting back to us after the Revolutionary War. It's like we won, they couldn't handle it, so the lobster backs, as I still call them,
Yeah.
are trying to get back at us.
So,
and they're kind of succeeding, dude. Because
I take it the opposite way. Everybody's hates. You either love or hate Meghan Markle, but at this point, it seems like more people hate her, and I don't understand why. Especially in this country, you should love Meghan Markle. To me, Meghan Markle is the fulfillment of the American Revolution. Like that is the nail in the coffin of the British royals. Like we
she
stole one of
infiltrated their royalty.
Yeah,
I'm with you on that, but on a different... I think she's CIA, dude. I think that she was planted to destroy that family, and it's working, and we're getting freaking Netflix specials about it.
She's all, don't care about your parents. Just
all
come
they're
hang out.
racist.
And she's like implanting American values in him slowly.
I think so, dude. And I think she found the easiest one to control.
She's all, your family's so nice, but like what about freedom? That would be kind of not cool, right?
So have you ever seen the talkie parrots? Come check it
Dude,
out.
if it was, I could never be Meghan Markle because my thing would be like, you guys don't have any Chick-fil-A over here. Where's your In-N-Outs? You guys don't have any of that stuff. What do you don't? So wait, you have to pay for your sauce packets?
That's where you draw the line? I'm out.
Come to America. It's the land of milk, honey, and Chick-fil-A sauce. Okay, you could go into a Chick-fil-A right now, not buy anything. Go, can I get 3 Polynesian and 2 buffalo sauce? And they can't. They have to give it to you.
They'll make you feel good about doing it.
I will say though that back in the day when I was growing up, before Chick-fil-A went too mainstream, they used to have the sauces just out there, dude. Just amongst the napkins and the straws, and you could just grab to your heart's content, dude. And they went back on that kind of, and now you have to ask them for it. So I'm just saying, our freedom's being restricted. Over time.
Here's how you counteract that, though. You order more sauce than you need, and then you take it, and then either you throw it away and waste it, right? And this is the prove a point, or you take it home, stick it in your fridge. Now you got a nice marinade for the next time you're cooking chicken.
Sure.
Yeah. I have a pantry full, dude.
The thing is, and I'm just gonna air one grievance real quick. Whenever I go to Taco Bell, which I try not to, but let's be honest, there's certain times where you need to go to Taco Bell. I feel like it's either feast or famine with their sauce. It's like either I only get I order 4 items and I get 3 sauces, and I'm like, how does this add up? Or they give me 20 sauces, and I'm like, dude, now I just have guilt, and I have to put it in my fridge, and it's gonna sit there for 3 years, and then I'm gonna throw it away.
I always wonder if the person got in trouble for giving too many. So then the next time they're like, here's 2. They're not allowed to give out more.
Equal it out.
The amount that they give whenever they give it is I'll have a bag and they give it to me, and I'm like, oh shit, my food is so heavy. And then I get the smallest little burrito and then 3 pounds of fire sauce.
It's only fire sauce.
I feel like they give you more when you only order one thing.
See, this is the conversation Meghan Markle needed to have with Harry.
Yeah.
Okay, this
he
is
didn't
the real.
understand.
He's still he's in Montecito. He's basically still royalty over here.
He doesn't even know what Mexican food is.
No,
that's just how out of the loop he is.
Hey, Harry, you ever bought a $1 taco from a guy on the street and risked your own life? No? Well, then sit down, pretty boy. That's what I'm saying, dude. Is
pretty boy.
I feel like Meghan Markle is we finally conquered the British Empire. It took 200 and whatever years it's been to do it. Sure, 1776 was great and, formed our country or whatever. But I think 2023 is the year that the sun does set on the British Empire. You know what I mean? And I think it's led by Meghan, a Burn Notice actress. That's the crazy part. And
that's true.
With that said, I wanted to bring an article that I found to you guys because whenever I read anything funny, I always think, what would Dave and Vince think about this?
Can I just say, we're having really great transitions in this episode.
Dude.
It's almost like we planned it out.
The secret is I start drinking before it, and then we're just good to go. I'm all set up.
Oh, I was gonna say too. I have some whiskey here in honor of Whiskey Vince.
Whiskey Vince.
That is producer Vince's counterpart.
Yeah.
More on that later, but
as we discussed on last week's episode. So if you don't know anything about that story, go on back and listen. Hey. I myself am being adverse, and I am Tequila E tonight.
For me, it is kind of cheating though, because I have this whiskey is actually like a weird flavored whiskey, which I'm not normally super into, but it's like dark chocolate banana.
Oh,
I don't know about.
But then, which could go either way, dude.
Do you count?
But I added chocolate bitters to it.
Oh, okay.
Kind of made it way better, dude.
Yeah, I have some orange bitters, and I am drinking scotch, which I've found a certain group of scotch that is the smokiest thing ever, and I can't go back now, dude. So I don't know if I should be saying I'm drinking whiskey or scotch, because I know scotch people are.
Scotch makes you sound more classy.
Yeah,
Is the brand of your scotch whatever Vaughn's has on sale?
It's Kessler does scotch now, dude. It comes in plastic, so I don't hurt myself.
The hockey player?
No, you never heard of Kessler whiskey? So
no.
My grandpa.
I'm not a big drinker.
Oh, dude, my grandpa used to take us to the playground when we were young, and he always had a huge canteen of coffee. Later on, I found out that guy was just getting completely wasted on the cheapest whiskey possible and just drinking it with coffee, and Kessler's was his shit. And it comes in like a 2-liter.
Sounds pretty amazing.
$12.
In 7th grade, my math teacher, she resembled Jack Skellington. She was like 85 years old. Should have retired 20 years before I was in her class. But she reeked of whiskey, dude. And she would just drink coffee the entire day.
Mm-hmm.
And in the back, her husband, who was like a 350-pound dude in his 80s,
Why was he
he was her TA. He would sit there quiet as a church mouse until the class got too unruly, and then out of nowhere, dude would just pound his fist and scream at the top of his lungs. And it was jarring, like coming out of elementary school where everything is like, we have to be nice because they're little kids. It was, we're in a different world now. Our teachers are drinking. Their husbands are basically threatening us with force if we don't shut up.
It's like, welcome to the real world.
Yeah.
Welcome. This is the streets. You're in the streets now, son.
What grade did you say this was?
This is 7th grade.
It was it's wild that they allowed her husband to be in the same class.
Oh, he got hired in the 50s before they had rules, dude. There's no way he was credentialed. There's no way he was qualified for that job, other than he had a crazy anger problem. And
I don't know. He can pound his fist really good. And
he just had like
kids,
50 years of calluses from smashing the same table.
You could tell that his training came from a time in which corporal punishment was an option for disciplinary action in junior high. So yeah, it was you gotta love people that can be functional drinkers, much like yourself, Vince.
I had my 3rd grade teacher was a chain smoker, and every couple hours she would leave the classroom and just step over the boundaries of the school and just chain smoke and just come back.
That's a person you can trust, dude. Like if my kid had a teacher that was like, hey, this is the curriculum, but I'm going to tell you every 3 hours, I'm going to go hit a burner, and I just want you to know that's how I unwind. I'd be like, yeah, of course. I understand that.
So I worked in education forever. I finally just got out of it. The last school that I worked at was an elementary school. Did I tell you about Purple Hair, the substitute? 50-year-old woman that had short, dyed purple hair. She reeked of cigarettes. In the mornings when I'd be pulling in, she would be directly in the entrance of the elementary school smoking a cigarette, and all the parents are looking at her weird. She would go and take breaks and have me take control of her long substitute class, and she would go just pound cigarettes in front of the school, dude. One day she came in and it was, especially nowadays.
She got judgy.
Oh yeah, she got a phone call during the 2nd grade class, and it was her son is in another elementary school and he broke his arm. She got off the phone and proceeded to tell the 2nd grade class the graphic details of her son's broken arm, but for 25 minutes. So she was in no rush to go and save her son, but instead she's telling these horrified kids about how his bones are probably breaking out of his skin. And I'm sitting there in the back of the class just like this. It was the greatest thing ever.
That's kind of the equivalent of what Christian Bale did in Love and Thunder. That's pretty much the only scene he was in, was scaring little kids.
It's very true.
I've killed somebody once.
He's just smoking.
That's hilarious. But anyway, before we get too far away from the Prince Harry thing, which, to further illustrate my example of how Meghan Markle and the situation with Harry and Meghan is the kind of linchpin in the British Empire, I wanted to bring up an article that I found from Page 6, a very trusted, reliable news source.
Eli's been really excited to bring this to the show.
Dude, I have, because it makes me more patriotic, man. It makes me appreciate who we are as a people. There's a lot of stuff wrong with America, right? Everybody knows that. Just like everywhere else in the world, there's problems. But at least another country didn't steal one of our royalty. You know what I mean? Especially after fighting in a really bloody revolution 200 years ago.
That's the trick. If you don't have royalty, no one can steal it.
And I'm also kind of fascinated with the fascination of this guy. I don't know what purpose he serves and why the American media is kind of just all over him and what he kind of offers. The title of this article is called "Prince Harry Reveals Whether He's Circumcised in Bombshell Spare Memoir." So Spare is the name of his book that he just came out with. And the name of his book refers to what he claims people referred to him as in relation to his brother, Willie, as he calls him, Prince William, who is in line to be the King of England once, Chuck or whatever the other guys. The
Dude,
king's
no one
name
that
is over
goes by
there.
Willie should be allowed to be king, dude. I mean, that should be just barrier to entry.
I mean, nobody that's like a descendant of the same DNA should probably rule people, and their whole like thing is like, oh, we're royals in name only, but the power's over here at the prime minister and the.
They're like, we don't actually do anything. We just take people's money and live and can get anything we want and just live off it. I mean, what's wrong with that?
We're just rich. That's it.
We just take your money and use it. I mean, we're not like trying to overtly do anything.
So in this memoir that he put out, he basically just blasts his entire family. He blasts Prince William. He blasts his dad. He blasts the British media. He basically makes enemies out of everybody in Britain. Again, so that is an American. You know what? I think Prince Harry might be more American than me now with some of these moves. But the article starts, he's letting it all hang out, right? So that's how we, like, the media wants to use Prince Harry, but that's how we respect him, right? With that opening line of, he's letting it all hang out. Prince Harry, 38, revealed in his bombshell spare memoir that despite the rumors of the contrary, both he and his brother, Prince William, are circumcised. So, I mean, what is that saying? That's saying that, like, everybody sits around going, like, I don't think that Prince William and his brother are circumcised.
Oh my God, do you think they're not circumcised?
Do you think they still have hats on? Yeah, I've never once, of all my time thinking about the British Empire, I've never thought about that. The Duke of Sussex recalled that the question of whether he and William 40 were cut or uncut was a matter of public record and indeed some public curiosity. He writes in his memoir, there were countless stories and books and papers, even the New York Times, about Willie and me not being circumcised. So let's put it on Front Street. He's got a ghostwriter of this book. He's not writing this book. And so far, I love the sense of humor of this ghostwriter who's using Willie and circumcised in the same sentence, being real subversive. Mummy had forbidden it. They all said, and while it's absolutely true, that the chance of getting penile frostbite is much greater if you're not circumcised. All the stories were false. I was snipped as a baby. So finally, guys, we have closure. Prince Harry is circumcised.
Wait, dude, penile frostbite? What even is that?
He got, okay, let me
What
continue.
is penile?
When he frolics in the snow, Dave, his foreskin's gonna get frozen.
Harry's
I mean, I like to
arose...
frolic as much as anybody, but like, I'm not.
Yeah, but how often are you in a frozen tundra in which that could even be an option? You know what I mean? Mummy had forbidden it. I'm going to stop with the British accent.
The snow builds up in the folds, Dave.
Mummy had forbidden it. They all said, and while it's absolutely true that the chance of getting penile frostbite is much greater if you're not circumcised. Oh, wait, I already said that part. So basically,
is this
he
some
confesses.
weird British old wives' tale where they're like,
dude.
if you get circumcised, you'll get penile frostbite. It's like, what?
Yeah, because like their kids come to them one day and they're like, "Mommy, why am I not circumcised?" And they're like, "Oh, because dear, we love you enough that we don't want you to get penile frostbite."
Stephen, I saw
Stephen.
Stephen's Willie, and he didn't have the foreskin that I have.
Have you talked to Reginald's parents down the street, honey? He got penile frostbite, and he's never been the same. So apparently, Prince Harry got penile frostbite, and
The penis monster will get you.
and he'll frostbite your Willie.
Yo,
They call it a Todger
Yo,
over
Pecker.
there. I learned that today.
I thought it
too.
was Pecker over there.
Oh, it might be. I think it's Pecker everywhere. but
Okay, it's universal.
It's definitely Todger. So I'll close this one out after, but it gets even better, and you guys are gonna appreciate this because it's creepy, but very much in line with British people who I also have on good authority are inbred. Upon arriving home, I'd been horrified to discover that my nether regions were frost-nipped as well. And while the ears and cheeks were already healing, of course, those ears and cheeks are the first thing to heal from frostbite. The Todger wasn't. Told you, Todger. It was becoming more of an issue by the day.
You got me.
Dude, are they just trolling us? What even is this, dude?
Does he read the audiobook, dude? My voice cracked because I'm
Of
so
course.
excited. Oh my
And
god.
he's not only like the book sales are, he sold like 2.4 million copies in a day. It's like one of the best-selling books so far of all time. The Injured Royal used Elizabeth Arden cream, which I'm guessing that's some kind of like a brand.
Oh, I think I
cream
heard
on
about
his-
this today,
You're
dude.
just making
On
this
his
up, dude.
on his afflicted member, on the advice of a friend who we assumed did not have a medical degree until he finally consulted a doctor. Time heals. The professional toned and presumably Harry's organ did organically heal, as he and Meghan Markle share 2 children and Lilibet. So this whole article is just like, we're going to give it to Prince Harry. We're going to sound like we care and like we're halfway interested, but really we're just going to tear his Todger down.
He survived Frozen Dick, dude. And he's not the first.
Yeah.
It's like he's a different species and he's like in a vat and we're like just poking him being like,
are we supposed to congratulate him for... I don't understand the point of this article.
The whole point of the article is to run his name in mud. That's it. That's it. Why would you put that story in there? In the book, I heard an excerpt from the book where he specifically talks about this, and he talked about the process of putting the Elizabeth Arden cream on his uncut Todger, his frostbitten Todger. And he talked about his mom used to wear that cream when she was alive, Princess Diana, and talks about when he put the cream on his Todger, his frostbitten Todger, that it brought back a flood of memories, and all he could think about was that his mom was in the room with him. And that's where I'm like, this is weird.
What?
I think you're right now, Dave. I didn't think about that. I think they're trolling him.
Paige said
they're
she's
like,
gonna
watch
read
these
the book.
Americans. I even mention Princess Diana and they'll be all over it.
Dude.
They'll want that shit.
They'll give me a Netflix and a book deal. And we did.
Dude, what?
So I saw an article today that these article like clickbait things are so funny because it was Prince Harry uses lotion and thinks of mom on his like it was like uses lotion on his penis and thinks of mom, and I was like, what?
It's
And this wasn't
Todger.
far off, dude. His Todger.
It really wasn't too far off from that. I feel like frequently I like listen to the news and just get depressed about the world, but like this makes me happy because this just proves that like nothing's that bad, dude.
Yeah, this
If
is
these
for
are the
us.
articles that are out there, dude. It's
Yeah.
like we're fine.
And plus, it also indicates what people really care about. People really care about who's got a frostbit dick and
They do.
what
Don't think
country
for
they're
one
from.
second that people don't care about frostbitten dicks, dude. 'Cause
No.
they do.
I honestly, I'm going to be more aware of it now going forward, and I'm just going to reach out to people, be like, "Hey, buddy, I haven't heard from you in a while. How's that dick? Is it frostbitten, or you got Elizabeth Arden cream? Okay, all right.
You gotta. Can I get you some cream? I'm gonna have
Keep-
to import it, but
I love how
Keep that
specific it
Todger
is for the
fresh.
cream.
how's your Todger, bro? I just wanted to,
You keeping it
Dude.
creamed?
Hey, you got
you
that
creaming
creamed
it?
up Todger? So that's my example of how America has fully and finally won its independence by using our actors to go over
I don't know
and
because
steal
we're just
vulnerable
entranced with
royalties.
British Todgers, dude. Like I kind of feel like the British won, dude.
We're still
They're
talking
like,
about him. But
dude,
he's
no way.
American now.
This is like that article was like a psyops mission, dude. That was like, watch this. Like we'll put out frostbitten Todgers and they'll eat it up, dude.
This is something Americans don't know anything about. The problem of the frostbitten Todger. What a
That
great
sounds like
James-
a Hardy. That sounds like
Sounds
a
like-
Hardy Boys novel. The problem of the frostbitten Todger.
I was trying to relate it back to British stuff, and I was going to say it sounds like an Ian Fleming book, like a James Bond plot.
Yeah, it's a,
That is something that if I saw in a James Bond movie, I'd go, dang, he really is a man.
I'd be like, dude, they ran out of ideas, and then I'd be like, actually, this is kind of taking it into a fresh direction, dude.
This hits
Actually-
home.
Prince Harry's kind of an everyman. I never realized it before.
He's like the Tom Hanks of the British.
Of Todgers.
Tom Hanks.
He's the Tom Hanks of Todgers.
Dude, I want to see a movie where Tom Hanks plays. It's all just around. It's called the Chili Willy, and it's the whole
plays
the
his
whole
brother.
movie.
Todger?
You make James Cameron direct it. It's 3 hours long, of course,
Dude.
and he'll re-release it in 6 months to get more money on the box office.
It's
back
in
end.
3D for sure.
It's in 3D, which for this movie you want this in 3D. You want
You want to be able to
3D.
try to reach out and grab it as
Yeah.
it comes at you, dude.
You want to feel like that frostbite is on your Todger, right? But I thought like,
Just keep looking down. Oh, God.
oh my god, it's so immersive.
It's 4D. They're really.
How is he going to figure out how to piss off the natives with this one, though?
Oh, he doesn't have to try that hard. I mean, he just has to exist. He'll do something. He'll steal some culture. You watch.
They're all. What do you say to the people that feel like you culturally appropriated this? What? What? Is it too long? Why don't they just go piss, huh? They can
He
just go
doesn't
pee.
answer the
Right,
question
they're
at
gonna
all.
say it again. Mr. Cameron, you didn't answer the question.
If you freeze your Todger, you won't have to go to the bathroom.
Why do we go back to James Cameron every episode, dude? We just get
dude, because
sidetracked.
he's the perfect example of a guy who thinks too highly of himself.
If we had one guy that represented all of America that can go to Britain and just really show him what's in it, I would vote for James Cameron, dude. I'd be like, no, he's American in a nutshell.
I feel like
wouldn't
he'd be pissed to be there, too, so it'd be perfect.
Yeah, exactly. That's why it's great.
He's all.
He wouldn't take any of their crap, that's for sure. And then like imagine that pitch meeting where he's like meeting with Disney or whatever, and they're like, "Look, James, we looked at the budget. We're not going to give you $3.5 million for this Todger scene. There's no reason for it. Okay, we already have the prosthetics for one of our other Miramax movies. Let's just make it happen. All right, with the budget you're on."
So no, you're gonna do the Todger. And
He's
they're
all,
like,
I got
"You're
Harry
right,
to
we're
Okay.
star in it.
He's all 6 billion Todgers say I'm right. He's right.
So you remember Titanic? That's right. We're doing Todgers.
Have you ever
He's like,
seen
how
a
many-
blue Todger?
You know how many Todger? You know how frostbitten Jack's Todger was? No, because I didn't have the budget to show it. Okay.
And by the way, I proved that he would die if he was in there, and the two of them would not fit on the raft together.
That's my favorite thing.
Did he
So if
say
you're gonna
that?
go on Reddit and try, dude, yeah, he like spent his own money, like
To myth
trying
bust it?
disprove- because he tried to myth bust the Mythbusters. They tried to
Wow.
say that like it didn't really make sense because they
Dude,
would have both fit on the raft, and he was like so personally offended by it that he spent his own money to disprove it, dude.
He called them liars. He straight up said like
Yeah, dude.
they're liars. Like those guys. Like it's a funny show.
So you know
but-
those Mythbusters guys, they're cool guys, but they're liars.
He's always spent $40 million to kill a whole ship of people to prove you wrong.
Bro, Mr. Cameron, it's a film.
Dude.
It's okay to be a film. It doesn't have to be like people can comment on your film and like have opinions on it.
Hey, James, you were in a bracket most people can only dream of getting in. Why are you so pissed off at the world? Well, it's because I'm Canadian. No, that is the opposite. Canadians are nice. Well, I'm a Canadian in America. Okay, that's what it is.
He's all I left Canada behind.
Anyway, thank you guys for indulging. I've been thinking about that Prince Harry thing all week, and
That was good.
I really feel, I feel like we've won, and I think we should gloat about it. I really do. If Biden came out tomorrow and he was like, we're gonna put Meghan Markle on the $1 bill, at first I'd be like, what the hell? And then I'd be like, it makes sense. It's relevant
Well, George
to
Washington,
the lives we live now.
Who nobody relates to him these days.
George Washington had to cross the Delaware to take it to the British. Meghan Markle just did it from the
Okay,
inside.
So he
She did it
chopped
from the
down a
inside.
cherry tree. That's his biggest, exploit. Like, who even cares? All right, let's move on.
I also brought in one other thing that I've been thinking about a lot. You can ask, why this specific topic. But I just
Why?
read I'm gonna tell you. I just read an article about all of the things in 2023 that are about to become public domain. So that means that anybody in the public, it's their domain now. You can do with it what you will. So there was a couple of things in here that stood out to me. A lot of things that I don't know what the hell they are, but two things did, and it is under the category of books. One of the books that's going to be public domain in 2023, might already be, is The Gangs of New York by Herbert Asbury. It's the original publication. So when I read this, I was like, we've been exploring stories from Chat AI and from having, other people, robot overlords, create stories for us so that, half the work is done. Gangs of New York is now public domain. That means we can make a direct sequel to Martin Scorsese's 2006 movie, Gangs of New York. And we don't have to consult with him. We don't have to get his
We
permission.
can do it tomorrow, dude.
We could do it tomorrow. We could do it on a $2 budget. We can, we can throw some Frozen Todgers in there. We can, hell, I say we cast Meghan Markle as the lead. All right, we can think about that one because that didn't seem to go over
I'm gonna
very
have
well.
to sleep on that one, but
I don't know. All I know is her invasion prowess. I don't really know much about her infiltration prowess. I don't know much about her acting. I've never seen anything she's done. But I say we come up with a sequel to Gangs of New York. And guys, we can get as crazy with this as we want. We're not held to any kind of continuity. We're not held to Martin Scorsese giving his 2 cents on what he thinks. We don't even have to. Did Leo die at the end of that movie? It's been a long time since I've seen it. I like that movie, but I haven't seen it in a long time.
yeah, I
He
don't
doesn't,
remember
right?
a whole lot.
I have never seen that movie, and I know that's a bold statement, but I've never seen it.
What?
Yeah.
You've never seen Gangs of New York?
Not
A lot of people
once.
don't like it. I like it, but a lot of people
It's
don't.
Was it a
Not- yeah.
musical?
Absolutely not. It's very, very
I
violent.
feel like it was a
Bloody.
musical, so I just always stayed away from it. I could be
It's
wrong.
it's one of those movies that Leo tries to do something different, but he just sounds like Leo. He's got an Irish accent, but he's like Christian Bale.
You're still
Like,
like, you're Leo.
Christian Bale is one of those guys that he loses all this weight, gains all this weight, really gets hooked on meth just to explore a role. But at the same time, you're like, you still sound like Christian Bale. So ultimately, like, that's the thing about Batman to me that I was like, you would know who Bruce Wayne is because you go like, oh, there's only one person
You can
in this
still hear
town.
him.
You can hear him.
You see his mouth, and he has a very specific like way that he talks. And you're like, he's
"I
Bruce
ju-
Wayne.
Where's Bane? Where's the trigger? It's like, okay. Only one person in this town in high profile society has that kind of a list, Bruce. But yeah, he also has a mole by his eye, which is also a dead giveaway. But I think we should really take some liberties with this bad boy and shoot a new Gangs of New York. And my pitch to you guys, why not set it in space? Why not make it a deep space sci-fi action adventure movie about so the world, right? Global warming finally wins, like they've been telling us it's going to. We all have to move off world, or not we, because in this world we're long gone. This is the future. But they go and build these mega space stations, right? That house like all the communities and cities of the world. One of them is New York, and then naturally, of course,
It's called New York. One of the space stations.
It's just a spaceship basically with the words New York on the back of it, right? But
Do you have a full treatment for this?
I'm writing it right now.
Okay.
But the 5 boroughs are on the ship, but they're just different segments of the ship, right? We don't have to get creative with it. We can use like really primitive models because again, there's no expectations. Nobody is expecting a Gangs of New York 2 in space. So I don't know. I thought that would be awesome. I thought we could really.
I just binged all the Friday the 13th this year. So I mean, definitely,
it's fresh.
Jason X comes to mind.
It did feel like Jason X a little bit.
Whoa, dude. Where did this come from? And it's just like, for better or worse, you just go for it. Go all out. And there's cyborgs, and there's just like, I don't know. I can see that.
Do you use the same cast?
Depends on if Leo wants to be involved. But I think we do like a descendant of Leo. We cast Leo, and we tell him up front, hey, Leo, you're going to make $25 off this, okay? So don't come into this picture if you think it's going to be something that's going to make you buy you another yacht.
You've made plenty of money. And
you're rich.
You've made your point about environmentalism. This goes beyond both of those two things.
This is the future.
This is like the role that's going to define you forever.
And also, we can, there's room to preach a little bit in this movie about environmentalism. This is what caused people to have to leave.
We'll let you just go off and improv and then keep it in the movie. That's fine.
We'll have you do one scene where you just look directly in the camera and address everybody watching, and you can tell them what you really think of that. See, there's no rules with this. We're not Marty Scorsese. We're not going to tell you, cut, let's do it again. Okay?
Stick to the script. Question, what do you call it? Because that's what's going to sell it.
Gangs of New York in space. Gangs of New York 2, in space.
Games of
In space.
Gangs of New York Act.
No,
Gangs
dude.
You got to stick with it?
Gangs of Space Act. Then it's like you're tying them.
See, I think
Too political.
we've got an intellectual property here that's
political.
we got a built-in audience with this one. Everybody's been foaming at the mouth for Gangs of New York 2. It's unconventional. It's unconventional, but I think but maybe we don't take it to space.
Well, here's my question is like, go ahead.
No, that's all I had.
I wanted to hear what you said. You can take it to space, or
I know.
You could take it underwater. Let's Cameron this piece.
Cameron, back to Cameron.
And we'll take it. We'll let him. Dude, maybe he'll direct it, and we'll be like, again, you got no budget on this, James, unless you want to contribute.
Are we gonna make them really hold their breath underwater, or are we gonna CGI it?
Oh, we'll CGI. We'll make it more like Aquaman, where it's obvious that people are on a green screen and we just overlaid water on top of it. That's what we'll do.
No. There's water. Just there's water.
Look, just suspend your disbelief for a second and imagine there's water. We don't even have water. It'll just be people on a stage acting, and then we'll just like CGI fish swimming by. So you can be like, yeah, this is New York. It's underwater. Get over it.
Yeah. Okay. So what is the tone? Is this like, is this like self-aware, or is this like dark and gritty?
No, this is, I think it's dark and gritty, but I think we leave moments for slapstick.
Do it all, dude.
Do it all.
Take it really seriously as a form of art. Make it really dramatic, but
I think we
have them slip on banana peels. That's fine.
Oh yeah, slaps in the face, falling down the stairs. Just slipping on the banana peel is really good. I think that's in the opening sequence.
I don't think it's ever been done actually. So I think that'd be actually really fun if you.
It starts and there's 2 warring gangs. We'll mirror the. Here's what we just retell Gangs of New York 1, but we put it in a different setting. So it starts. It starts with these 2 warring gangs going at each other, right? And right before you build all this tension, right before we get to it, the leader slips on banana peel, and then everybody starts laughing, right? And we think, oh, this is going to bring them together. Like comedy brings people together, laughter brings people together, joy
instant
people together.
underdog, dude, because we feel for
Instant.
him. We're like, I mean, I've slipped on a banana peel. I know how he
Yeah.
feels,
Who
and
had-
everyone's laughing at him, and I don't like people laughing at me.
Slipping on a banana peel is one of the most relatable things you can do in film, I think, because there's no politics involved, right? You could be rich, you could be poor, you doesn't matter what sexual
You're gonna
preference.
be around bananas, regardless
Yeah.
of anything.
One day you're gonna be in Ralph's, you're gonna walk, think you're fine, and you're gonna slip, and you're gonna go. They tried to warn me in Gangs of New York 2 in space, but I didn't listen. But yeah,
So it's almost like you're pitching like being like a requel, where it's like, it's a sequel, but it's kind of a retelling for a new TikTok generation, right? So it's like you're getting both demographics, right?
I think
People are going to be like, oh, I'm old and I remember the first one, so I have to go see this. But then you're also getting the people that are like, I don't have attention spans. I want to watch TikTok all day. You're getting those people too. So that's all the money, dude.
Let me piggyback that idea because that's great. I didn't think about the TikTok angle. I really think we should shoot for the 12 to 85 demographic. So we should have a release on VHS. We should do an in-theater release. We can remaster in 3D or whatever, give people red and blue glasses. But
do it in post, though. It shouldn't be actual.
We segment it out in 10-minute clips and release it on YouTube. So the younger generation, those up and coming, can go, oh my God. It honestly, if you think about it, like it really does have the potential just to bring everybody together.
I don't want to commit to anything. Can you just show me like a 45-second clip? But the whole movie will be doing that. So they'll watch all the clips. And then by the time they realize it, they're like, well, I just watched the whole movie.
TikTok, I mean, the TikTok algorithm probably wouldn't push us, but, maybe we could pay to promote it, We factor that into the budget is what I'm saying.
Well, I guess that's where the budget can go if we'd have a budget.
I mean, and James Cameron and Leo will have to understand that. Dude, I didn't think about this. If we get James Cameron and Leo back for this movie, we got to get Kate Winslet. Think about it.
Yeah. I mean,
it's a reunion.
She'll do anything if James Cameron asked her to, I feel like.
Yeah.
So get her in there.
Get her in there.
Dude, get Johnny Depp in there. His career is kind of like trending upward again after the trial. So get him in there. It's a reunion of him and Leo too that we haven't seen. So, maybe it can also be a What's Eating Gilbert Grape sequel. Think about that.
Is that in public domain? Well, I'll do some research on that because now I have to have it. But I think, because this is what we're good at. We're good at building trilogies, right? We did it on the Chat AI. So I think for this one, maybe the What's Eating Gilbert Grape angle is the sequel to Gangs of New York 2. We don't call it Gangs of New York 3. We call it What's Eating Gilbert Grape again. What's still eating? What's still eating? Yes. What's still eating Gilbert Grape, right? And like Leo's the exact same character. We'd have to be careful because we could hit some, offensive tropes, but I think at the same time, I think Leo's the actor that can pull it off. We know Johnny Depp is, and all he has to do is play
his career.
Yeah.
Yeah, and everyone's clamming. That's another sequel everyone's clamoring for. So, smash them together.
Hey, if they can make a Passion of the Christ 2, we can make. And then a whole series of sequels to movies that nobody wants or everybody wants. They can either be in public domain or not.
This is like the Winnie the Pooh movie, right? It's like Winnie the Pooh a few years ago went to public domain, which is pretty insane.
And they made the horror.
And then they made the horror Winnie the Pooh.
That's
Vince. You know what that's called, right? What was it called?
I never saw it.
Dude,
I'm looking right now.
I don't think it's out yet.
Oh, okay.
They did it.
Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey is coming out this year, dude, and it's just somebody that used it because the rights reverted back. And it's a horror slasher film about Winnie the Pooh.
Dude.
The same production company also is doing a Grinch horror movie.
Yeah, that
where it's
looks
the
good,
Grinch just wiping people out. And they use the same guy that played Art the Clown in Terrifier.
I was about to say, is it the same director and stuff from Terrifier 2?
I think so. I think
nice,
if he's not directing it, it's he's involved with it somehow. But yeah, it's just like
I'm in, dude.
It's basically what we're joking about here. It's like that people are really doing,
Yeah, but theirs is gonna be like, this is scary and funny, and ours.
It's not gonna be as serious.
Ours is gonna be like
peel.
more like, Academy Award bait. It's gonna be like really good, like,
It's something that Sean Penn would be excited to be in. Is what you're saying?
Yeah, it's gonna be like, hey, you don't have an Oscar yet? Jump on this movie.
Come for the awards, stay for the banana peels. That's gonna be our tagline on every movie. And people are they're gonna be like, oh, I hope this poster has the same tagline, and we'll deliver. I think we can do that.
It's all about the
think so.
tagline, really. You know, that's what you need.
I think we got a winner here. We definitely got two strong movies. And, if there's any, film producers that are looking to make sequels to movies where, it's questionable if people want them, you know where to contact us.
Reach out to us.
Let us know. We'll work cheap. I've done far more for cheaper. So, just let us know. I brought in, to continue the streak. I don't know. Do you guys have anything else to say about Gangs of New York 2? I think we kind of covered this. That's exactly what I wanted. I really
That's
wanted
everything that needed to be said, I think.
I'm not going to lie. I'm excited for this next article because I'm not really sure what this is going to be about. Do you have it up?
No, actually, that was the last article I had. I was going to move on from the articles. What's the article that you're referencing?
I have a screenshot for something about a hatchet. Do you have that article?
No, but I do remember that one. If you wanna throw that one up real quick, we can.
Alleged donut thieves charged with brandishing a hatchet. Brandishing, rather. I don't know what I said. Bandishing.
So, this took place in Canada, right? That's got to be where this happened. Oh no, this was in North Dakota. Okay, so yeah.
Okay,
Canada.
well,
That makes sense.
What is it? I haven't heard of this.
So apparently, and I'm not sure if the person used the hatchet to steal the donut, but it's the Bismarck man is in trouble with the law after he allegedly raised a hat. Oh, here we go. Answers our question. A Bismarck man is in trouble with the law after he allegedly raised a hatchet toward a convenience store clerk who tried to stop him from stealing donuts. So right there, he's in the wrong. You can't do
who
that.
hasn't lifted a hatchet once in a while when getting donuts?
If you're hungry, he's in the wrong?
It depends on what donut it was. If it was a bear claw, because no, it doesn't justify that kind of violence. If it was a maple bar, that's different.
I mean,
well, hold on. Listen to his name. His name is Brentley Iron Road. No way that's on his birth certificate.
dude,
36.
if you have that name, you can do whatever you want.
You have a
true.
hatchet.
Dude. Come
That's
on.
true.
Obviously, you have a freaking hatchet on you.
That is kind of a Game of Thrones name,
And you said it was a donut at a convenience store, so I'm imagining like the
That's a terrible
7-Eleven
donut.
donuts, dude.
Oh, God.
Which
Oh,
I wouldn't
God.
pay for either. And
Prince
I never
Willie,
thought about.
Why doesn't Prince Willie have that name? I mean, you need a name that strikes the fear into your subjects.
Yeah.
Why are you
Give him
calling
ti-
yourself Willie, dude?
Give him a time, dude. Give him some time. He hasn't been here that long. I bet he's never even been to North Dakota. Take some time. You got to come around.
Bring him over. We'll take him under our wing. We'll show him a couple things about being American. Where
Wouldn't it
when
be
you want a
awesome?
donut, you take a hatchet out and
Yeah.
exert your dominance. That's
And
just what you do.
Don't go to a donut store. Go to a convenience store to get your donuts. Everybody knows it's
convenient,
where the
dude.
freshest. It's convenient.
Did he kill the guy for the donut with the hatchet?
Well, let's get there. So his name is Brentley Iron Road, but he goes by Gary. 36. I made that up.
Okay, I was like, what?
Faces a charge of felony terrorizing, and misdemeanor criminal trespass in connection with the incident on Friday, the Bismarck Tribune reported. This is on the Associated Press. According to a police affidavit, a clerk at the Simonson Station store confronted Iron Road after Iron Road allegedly put packaged donuts in his coat. So we're not even talking about, we're talking about Hostess donuts or
Yeah.
Entenmann's donuts.
Yeah,
Prefab.
that's already.
It's too much of a risk.
Come on.
Iron Road put the donuts back, but became agitated. So see, he was on. Man, I wish he would have just stuck that. He would have been fine. When the
He's a
clerk told him,
pacifist, as far as I'm concerned. If he's gonna put back the donuts, I mean,
it's
come on.
true, dude. When the clerk told him to leave, he pulled a hatchet from his. Well, he shouldn't have told him to leave. It was not his right. He's shy. He put him
He
back. At
instigated
that
him
point,
by
he
asking
didn't
him to
steal.
leave, dude.
at that point, he's not a criminal. He's just a consumer. When the clerk told him to leave, he pulled a hatchet from his waistband and raised it towards the worker. Iron Road left the store after the clerk told him again to leave. So he left the store. So he complied. Why is this?
He didn't steal.
Why was he charged? Police found the hatchet in a snowbank and viewed store video. Okay, hold on. This just took a completely different turn.
What's
Police
the
found
problem,
the hatchet
dude?
in a snowbank and viewed store video that shows Iron Road raise the hatchet. Maybe he just got a new hatchet. And he's like, hey, my new buddy at this convenience store, sure, there was some awkwardness when he told me to put these donuts back. But at the same time, look at this new hatchet. Don't you love it? And the guy's like, oh, no, I'm adverse to hatchets.
He was just at Cabela's across the street. He's like, look at my new hatchet.
Maybe he's like, got any trees you need to tear down?
I'm gonna say
to-
I don't
you
know.
know?
I don't know if my childhood was different than most people, but I don't feel like this story is newsworthy because the shit that I remember happening as a kid was like this on a daily occurrence. Like, I feel like this isn't that big of a deal. And then also what I wanted to say, if
Well,
you
did grow
guys...
up in war-torn Iraq. So,
I did, yeah. What would your guys' tagline be if you were stealing donuts and you had a hatchet and you're trying to scare someone? Because I got a good one.
I don't know. Do
On the
yours and I'll
fly.
think about one.
I would look at him with the hatchet in my hand and say, we're all jelly-filled. And just walk out with the donuts,
be like,
dude.
Do not question this.
Oh, shit. You just thought... You had that written down, Dave.
Dude, I didn't, dude. That's just how clever I am, Vince.
Come on, Eli, what you got?
Dude, I don't know. This is tough. I want to go with donut hole, but it doesn't make any sense. Because I was going to go like,
Donut, hold on.
I was going to say, guess who's going to get their hole filled? But then I was like, that's way aggressive. That Iron Road would deserve to get arrested.
What you just said right there was more incriminating than what this guy did in this article.
This guy's just showing off his new toys, dude. And this guy's like, oh, police, whoa, 911, help me. He threw it in the snowbank.
Did he have a...
It's unjust.
What
This
is it
story's
called?
unjust.
What is it called when you're like, you have to show a gun? What is it called? Like you have to have it like visible.
Oh, like a conceal
Brandishing?
and carry?
Yeah.
Or-
Did he have a
okay.
conceal and carry for his hatchet, or was he like?
That's the thing,
Did he
there's
have
some-
it stuffed down his pants? Because I feel like that's a difference.
Was that a hatchet in your pants? No, I got a frozen... What are the Europeans called, dicks?
Taja.
No, it's a frozen Todger?
Oh,
Yeah,
it's just my
Todger.
frozen Todger.
It's just my... Oh, you should have got that chopped
I got
up.
some frostbite.
Maybe he was headed over to the royal palace to chop off some Todgers with his hatchet, and he was trying to get donuts to cheer up the kids, dude.
Do you have any
Maybe.
Elizabeth Arden cream for my frozen Taja? And they're like, no, sorry, we're fresh out. He's like, well, then give me some. And he pulled out his hatchet and just started going crazy, and the guy got scared.
He's all, I'm about to hatch a plan to murder you.
All right, my line, if it was an action movie and I was stealing donuts, on the way out, I'd go, I'll take a dozen, and then run out.
Oh.
It's not good. I'm not saying it's
pretty
good, but
good.
it's something.
It's pretty good, dude.
I feel like the jelly-filled could have been good if I put it better.
Yours is like a horror film. Like, that's something terrifying that somebody says before they kill somebody, but that's not what he did here. Gary just brandished it. Again, I think Gary was like, yeah, this guy wants to see this.
Is the video available? Because we can't pull it up here, but I would love to see him just be like, and like out of his backpack, he's all.
It's just like a very cordial, like
Yeah.
they're talking about sports. He's like, oh, hey, look at this new hatchet I got.
Like, was it
I got
threatening?
scared,
I had to
man.
use this hatchet.
Be a shame if I had to cut your Todger off.
I love that he threw it away after, because he has remorse for what happened. He was like, God, did I really pull out that hatchet? Like,
I
he's
just threw my life away over some
Oh.
Intamins.
It was a new hatchet, and now it's a. Now I have to give it up.
Great,
I
now
lost
I'm
my
gonna have to
hatchet.
I'm gonna have to save another week for a new hatchet.
He didn't
That's
even
great.
get donuts out of it, dude. Come on.
I know, man. I would if you're gonna pull out the hatchet, go the extra mile and steal those donuts. Because
Well,
then
yeah,
at least you
just
can be like,
obviously
oh
just like
man, I can't
ho-hos
believe
or
it's like
something.
Kevin. Ho-hos are enough. Hey Vince, can you turn those headphones down, my man?
A man's entitled
hear
to a
very
couple
loud.
ho-hos, okay?
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Well, I think to close this off, we have a special. We kind of have decided that we want to close out some of these episodes with getting the opinions of the robots via AI, because they're going to only get smarter over time, and we want to get on their good side, and we want to make sure that they are. We're all for inclusion here. So, I mean, the
Yeah.
ultimate inclusion is to get some responses from the robots, not just humans. We think beyond just humans.
Hey, the colonizers wouldn't have taken over if Squanto didn't teach them how to plant corn. So I think that's part of what we're doing here. It's like, obviously the AI is next, and they need to be informed with our sense of humor. You know what I'm saying?
they're gonna
And
enslave us-
storytelling prowess.
We're going to be like, not us. We don't represent all of humanity. We were cool to you guys.
The only way you're getting Americans to roll over is if you tell them a good story. And that's what I have asked. I specifically have asked the chat AI, or what do we decide his name was? Alistair? I say we give him let's call him Roger the Todger. He won't know what Todger means.
She had a female name, didn't she?
I feel like he's gonna find out. I feel like when he finds out what Todger is, he's not gonna be, he's gonna be upset about it.
He's all.
But,
At first, I thought it was wordplay because it rhymed, but now I know it's British for a dick.
So how dare you make me British?
All right, now. I have to say that I've read this. It's pretty comprehensive. This AI was very intuitive. So the title of this story is called "The Origin of Whiskey Vince," and it's fitting because Whiskey Vince is in the house tonight. So
He is. You can see the glow, dude.
I would like to I'd like to read the story, and then I think like last time, we can improve upon it. We can cut and we can throw things out, add things the way we see them. But I agree. I think this is a good way to cap off the show.
I'm accepting it. I'm not adding anything. I'm gonna accept whatever the AI is.
God, you are on board with AI, man. It's inspiring. All right. Origin of Whiskey Vince. Once upon a time, Vince was an up-and-coming producer for the Chance and Penner YouTube channel. He worked long hours. That's where he's wrong.
Yeah.
He worked long hours creating the most entertaining and thoughtful content for the channel's audience. But all his hard work and ambition was belittled and derided by Dave and Eli, the channel's head honchos. I want to point out right here that
Thank you, AI. Damn.
The AI used head honchos too. Like that's not
Dude.
like I wouldn't expect that to be a part of the digital vernacular.
I'm gonna add that to my resume that I was called a head honcho by
AI.
dude.
These two, talking about me and Dave, often mocked Vince's endeavors and ideas, causing him to retreat deeper into his own shell.
That's for sure true.
And eventually bringing him almost to the point of tears. That again is true. Remember after the last show, we had about a 30-minute come down where we had to be like, "No, Vince, you're fine."
After we trashed Loki and Vince was on the verge of tears over it.
Oh,
I just kept reducing my grade. Well, it was a C.
You're okay, it was a C now. Oh no, it was a D, Vince.
Well, say it's a D or get off the stream. But then one day, whilst he was emptying out his wallet after a particularly grueling day at work, he discovered a few stray coins that were enough to buy him a cheap flask of Scottish whiskey. Knows that you like Scottish whiskey, my man. Can't argue with that.
Dude.
And again, I didn't prompt him with that. My prompt was very minimal, so this AI is probably in my computer and knows our shit. But anyway, after a few deep swigs of cheap whiskey, he was filled with bliss.
Cheap whiskey specifically?
Yeah, cheap whiskey and deep swigs. Like these are big chief rips.
Go. Just crying as I'm doing it.
But also, you're at the same time, you're filled with bliss. After a few deep swigs of cheap whiskey, he was filled with bliss. From then on, Vince made whiskey a part of his creative process. Some would call it alcoholism, but no, this AI is like, no, this is part of his creative process, dude.
It's a character piece.
It's not a problem. It's a solution. He
started grabbing more.
He started to become more creative and innovative, leading to new and unique content for the channel. We'll see about that. He was no longer treated with disdain, but rather with admiration and respect for his creative output.
We'll see about that.
Thanks to his newfound totem of liquid courage, Vince was able to...
Totem, dude?
That's amazing.
It's like tribal.
Thanks to his newfound totem of liquid courage, Vince was able to single-handedly resolve a variety of global disputes that had previously been unable to be solved. So right now he's talking about the iced out Todger. You would have been the guy with the Elizabeth Arden going, "Hey, Prince Harry, let me have a
Leo tried to solve these problems.
I'm the one that talked Harry into getting over here. Well, come on, dude. Check out this Hatchet.
You're all Harry.
She's pretty hot.
She's pretty hot.
Harry, bring that chili Todger over here and let me have a whack at it."
That was a nice pun, dude.
Thanks,
That was, dude.
I sat on that since we talked about it before and just finally found an opportunity to use it. Thanks to his newfound totem of liquid courage, Vince was able to single-handedly resolve a variety of global disputes. I know I read that already, but I think that it was important to note again. That had previously been unable to be solved by even the most experienced diplomat. So, screw the bureaucrats. Cheap whiskey and Vince is all you need. Drop him into Ukraine right now. He's having both sides shake hands by the end of the day. And through this journey of self-discovery, Vince finally got recognition from Dave and Eli. And their relationship moved from one of hatred to one of respect and love. And that's how a small flask of whiskey transformed Vince from a hidden gem to a global success. And I want to note again, the AI added the colon, Whiskey Vince.
Nice. Pretty good, dude.
I
If you do all that, Vince, you'll get our respect. So go ahead.
The bottle's almost empty, and none of this has happened yet. So. Do I need to buy another?
Do I need to pull my willy out?
I think the true hero in the story is alcoholism, and I just want to point out that
it does solve problems.
If Hemingway didn't have an alcohol problem, he probably wouldn't be a good writer. So I'm just saying.
I would say every writer. You know what I mean? It's like every writer has to have. Hunter S. Thompson had ketamine. Whiskey Vince when he's pushing buttons in Oregon
has cheap whiskey. Was it
cheap whiskey?
She said, or the AI said specifically cheap whiskey, right? Cheap scotch.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was
dark chocolate and banana whiskey.
It was a cheap flask of whiskey. So I think you need to embrace this. I think shows going forward, you need to just swig out of a. This is you. This is your origin story, Vince. How do you feel?
I feel like maybe that's why things haven't worked out in life, is because I haven't stayed true to my
Not
origin
according to
story.
this.
It hasn't happened yet, which I'm going to get a flask this week and cheaper whiskey, and we'll see how it works out.
Maybe you have too stop with the scotch, dude. That's the problem. You got sidetracked with scotch. You gotta lower your expectations, dude.
I will say the hatred is here, though, so at least the origin has begun. Yeah.
The hatred, disdain, and the tears are here.
And I did feel bad after we grilled you last episode. So
Yeah, and Vincent, thinking about it, I'm willing to come up and give Loki a D+ just to meet you in the middle, my man.
That's good.
But we're helping create. We're helping create his origin story. That's the thing. So
you guys are making me a better person. I know.
I actually liked Loki a lot, but I have to pretend like I didn't, so that Vince can go through his character arc, and that's really the.
I appreciate
it. That's a great way of saying it. That's a great way of saying it. Hey, Vince, I just noticed that Paige is no longer watching. What was wrong? We weren't entertaining enough for her?
I think she was hanging up laundry because I shut off the camera 20 minutes ago because it was tapping on the door, and I thought
you went real.
An emergency. Yeah, I thought it was an emergency, and I was like, "Are you okay?"
You went real behind the scenes on it. I was just kidding, but yeah.
She's back.
Oh, she's here.
She's back. By the way, I said it earlier. She said she's going to read the book and let us know about the Frozen wanker.
I appreciate that. That's a real commitment.
She'll invest it. Yeah, she's the producer's producer. I appreciate it.
Yeah, if she does all the legwork so that you can take the credit for being a producer.
Much like when you asked me to Google something, Dave, you're like, "Fuck it, I'll do it," and you pull it up way faster. I'm just getting my phone out, and you're like, "Here it is, Winnie the Pooh."
All too slow.
You're all blood and honey, bitch.
Blood and honey.
Amazing.
All right, boys.
Yeah, we'll have to follow up with that one then.
That's all. That's my story for this week. But I think that Vince, what the AI did for you is it gave you somewhere to go, and I think
gave me hope, dude.
It's invaluable, Mm-hmm. I think it's important.
All of us, we are all unfinished products of ourselves, and I think that's what the AI has taught us this day: is we need to just stay on our paths.
Yeah, stay in our lanes.
If that means drinking bad whiskey, that's what it is, and just keep at it every day.
It's good whiskey, guys. I promise.
I'm more of a Buffalo Trace man myself, but
okay.
That's fine.
Yeah, man. Some people like watered down whiskey. Paige sent me the video for the ducks. I can't pull it up right now, but if you guys are interested, next week I can have that video.
We gotta have that. Yeah, we gotta show some of those pics.
You gotta put it on this. You gotta put it on the stream though, so everybody can partake in this, dude.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I can hold it up on my phone, but that's not the same.
I feel like they're true heroes, though. I feel like going back to that story, you guys kind of shamed them, Vince, when they left. But what if they're heroes? What if it was no. Their pet shop closed down and they saved every animal? They were like Pee-wee and Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
I was gonna say that.
And saved all the snakes, even though he was scared of them.
Dave.
And maybe you're just making their lives harder, man. Maybe they saved those ducks' lives.
I think they were fucking the ducks, Dave. I think they were duck fuckers, if I'm going to be honest.
You don't hear
much
the other
about 50 animals.
You don't hear much about duck efforts these days, dude.
Well, they've gone through 50 gerbils and so many
It's
condoms.
a good point. The duck costume is a good point. I mean, maybe they were trying to do marketing. I don't know, but
what if duck bumping was the real true remedy to a frostbitten Todger, dude? That's the only way to get it back.
The queen's like, just make them.
Me. I'm not going to vouch for them anymore.
I think we should end on that because that's one of the most disgusting images I've ever had in my head. But
quack, quack,
yeah,
dude.
no, You guys have anything else for this week?
No, man.
Anything else you guys want to say? I think it was great. So Vince, definitely bring in that video next week.
Okay.
Everybody will watch it. Everybody's going to be looking forward to it, least of all me. All right. We'll see you guys next week.
Skipping through the end times.